Jacob's had to deal with some obstacles in his life, but he's gotten through them. One kick at a time. And so maybe you're thinking I can win this one for Channel 12. Not so fast. I'll be lucky to finish in around an hour and a half. It looks like they're about to sound the gun, so I'm going to take off and head on. The Panthers have struggled greatly this year, but Black and Blue Part 2 gave them the chance for a renewed spirit. Their host, North Medford, has had all the ownage recently, and the Black Tornado came into the night on a 5-game winning streak against their crosstown rivals. The North Medford student section always hyped, but this is what happens when they get their hands on the Newswatch 12 GoPro. I'm sure the first thing you're wondering is if it's safe.
The nets are designed to catch tens of thousands of pounds of salmon.
Next, you want to know where it came from, how it got here.
I guess the history starts when I was 12 years old and I happened upon these nets that were up in the forest back in Sitka, Alaska, where I grew up.
This isn't some random contraption in the forest. It's part of a greater plan, and one that Max Reifenstuhl has put a lot of thought into. I can promise you, you've never seen it quite like this. Let's take a hike. The two of them have a new book out. It's called The World Series in the Dead Ball Era. Steve, this was obviously your brainchild, and I wanted to pick your brain about the creative process behind the book. If you want to take it up for the first time, it's pretty popular to launch with a tandem instructor. From above the Applegate Valley, Jake Garcia, Newswatch 12 Sports. I want to give you a look of where exactly we are. So back on Wednesday, SOU traveled from campus to the Medford airport and then all the way across the country. The Raiders touched down in Orlando, Florida. While Fink has been starring at OIT since he was a freshman, Hutchinson started his college career at Western Oregon, 5 hours away. Until he transferred to SOU in 2017, and the bromance was back in business. Diagnosed with one of the most life-threatening diseases a year ago, his story is about fighting adversity with positivity.
It's like something you can't wake from. It's like you go to sleep with it on your mind. You wake up with it. It's heavy on you all day.
We weren't expecting it, like he was feeling under the weather, and it just kind of came out of nowhere.
I was getting headaches so bad that I couldn't even remember that we watched the movie last night. I'm a guy that's never taken any medication in my life, so I waited all the way until February.
In February of 2017, Matt's wife Beverly convinced him to see a doctor in Portland. After an MRI, the news was even more dire than he thought.
Doctor came in and told me, you got stage 4 gliosarcoma brain cancer. It's really aggressive, and if you don't get it out now, you probably only have 2 to 3 weeks left. And if you do get it out, 3 months would be a good run.
They said 90 days. He had 90 days, so that wouldn't even get to, our son's graduation.
I was thinking, man, life is too beautiful. I am gonna fight this battle like better than I could do anything in my life.
So that's exactly what he did, stagnating the most aggressive form of brain cancer with unwavering positivity.
I get angry. I think, why us? And, I kind of do that sometimes, and then he's always like, look, if this is my path, I have to walk it, and I'm going to walk it well.
Matt got through chemotherapy and radiation. Made it to his son's graduation in May and his 29th wedding anniversary in September. He missed 6 weeks of the 2017 baseball season, but 1 year after the diagnosis, he's coaching like he never left.
Nobody would have blamed him if he said, hey, I need to, take a step back, but he didn't. He just kept on going with his life.
He always talks about living life like a 3-1 count, which means you can swing for the fences. That thing where you have this chance to swing and you fight. You fight until, you just don't go down without a fight.
He told us from the beginning that he would beat it, and right now he's looking like he's beating it pretty good.
Believing that you're going to beat it, I think it's the true solution. And so, my thing and my goal is not only this year, but it's future years here too. And I'm recruiting for next year, doing all those things. So the one thing I told him, if I'm wrong, wasn't because of lack of effort.
Doctors have been 0 for 6 in the timetables they've given Matt. He's no longer on any medical treatment, and he tells me his current state is complete belief he's going to beat it.
At first they think, how's she going to do it? And then they think, how are we going to stop her?
Sometimes I hear the girls, oh, take away her right side or whatever. But like I take that and I try to like make it push me.
And I'm not sure how she does it because only she knows how to do it. I can't teach her how to do what she does. She teaches herself almost everything.
That's because Shy Garza was born with a gift. It's just that letting it shine has to address what she was born without.
Well, she has one arm.
Shy is a sophomore on the North Valley basketball team, born with a condition called amniotic band constriction and a burning desire to shoot.
I've never like had two hands, so I've never like experienced anything else, but it's just, I do what everybody else does, but just like a little bit different.
She can shoot, and when she gets going and she's hot, she makes 8, 9, 10 in a row.
They might think I'm not that great of a basketball player, but I want to prove them wrong and be like, hey, I am a good basketball player and I can do this even if I don't have two hands.
A quick look at Shy and you'll see someone who plays basketball with only one hand. What's even more pronounced is the smile she's wearing when on the court. The adversity in her life not coming close to deterring her positive outlook.
She'll never have a bad day. She never has the why me mentality, never. She's just one of a kind.
This is the cards I've been dealt and this is what I'm going to do with that and just make it positive for everybody else. Like, and maybe the people that do have one arm, maybe they can look up to me and be like, oh, she can do it. Like, she's pushing herself. I can push myself.
So she sets out to inspire others. The gift she was given at birth. The basketball court, her platform, her shooting stroke, the message. In Grants Pass, Jake Garcia, Newswatch 12 Sports. When the funeral service for former President George H.W. Bush was held a week ago, a connection to Southern Oregon was instrumental in seeing it through. Former SOU football defensive lineman Curtis Kaufman was among the 9 body bearers tasked with transporting the casket to the hearse. You can see him off to the right, Kaufman in Houston last week for the service of the 41st president. He was also in the same position for John McCain's funeral in September. Now, becoming a body bearer is a highly competitive process. In the military, there are only 15 in the country, and once you're among them, it's your job to bear caskets for Marines, heads of state, and former presidents. Kaufman said in the moment, the only thing on his mind was executing all the preparation and training he's put in, but after time to reflect, he understands and appreciates the significance of the situation.
It was an incredible honor and something, that I never thought I would be in a position where I would be helping to perform a funeral ceremony for a former president. Being stationed here where I'm at in the body bearer section, I don't think there's any better place for me.
He and his position coach, Burke Brown, grew exceptionally close during that period, and the former SOU defensive coordinator made sure to offer his appreciation to his former player.
I messaged him the other day on social media just how proud of him I was and how he's not only representing himself but his family, Southern Oregon University and its football program.
Former shortstop Kelsey Randall on hand to watch the Raiders at U.S. Cellular Fields. SOU wasted no time in picking up where it left off last season, already up 4-0. Taylor Walker makes it 5 with an RBI base knock. So you remember Walker from last year. Let's introduce you to some new faces now. Allie Steins out of where else but San Mateo JC, who says lefties can't play catcher. Runner hosed at third. Lauren Quirk, another San Mateo product. The pipeline so strong. Avery Moorhead Hutzel comes in to score. Steins right behind her. Raiders lead it 7-0. From the newbies to the oldies, Gabby Sandoval back for her junior season, back to toying with opposing hitters. A 6-inning 6-hitter, no runs allowed and 6 strikeouts. Pitch count a little high at 107, but her arm's made of rubber, so it's all good in the end. Solid 2019 debut for the SOU ace. And with the mercy rule in plain sight, Hannah Shimmick puts Corbin to bed. Welcome to Rem Cycle. Raiders roll game 1, 8-0. A matchup between two juggernauts, the two top-ranked teams in Class 5 tonight at Crater High School. Number 1 Churchill in town to take on number 2 Crater. One of these teams will be leaving the gym tonight with a statement to the rest of the state. Crater beat Churchill in both regular season meetings a year ago en route to the conference crown. Pick things up second quarter, and we sound the alarm for hashtag SC Top 10. Jaden Vrains, a magician. Gonna want to take another look at this one. Vrains with a behind-the-back escape job. Whew. Susio, addition, a drain to finish it off. Game tied at 19. Sophomore Hunter Chubb logged some key minutes tonight as well, with Vrains back running the offense. Some of the weight off his shoulders, he can now let it rip. Crater draws even again. But the Comets went the entire second quarter without future D1 bound Nate Biddle. Foul trouble in the first got him a spot right next to coach, and Churchill began to take advantage. 6'10" Tree off the court. The Lancers went into the half with an 8-point lead. Third quarter, Biddle back in the game, but needing to be careful with that foul situation. Churchill went right after him. Brian Garaki for an easy 2. Crater trying to keep things close. Count how many times this ball touches the ground. None. Comets down 7. Moments later, Central Point turns into Lob City. Biddle letting out some frustration on the rim. But Churchill consistently did what Crater could not. The Lancers got to the rim, and because of it, they get the win. A statement to the state. Churchill crushes it 66-45. A lot of players making it rain tonight. Matt, the question is rain in our forecast?